October 17th in Canada, adults will be able to go to government-run stores or private sector stores across the country and legally buy cannabis. And so in anticipation of that, there's been a bit of a pack mentality. So we're seeing a lot of retail investors, feeling that if they buy 5, they'll be happy more than picking 1 or 2. And now we're starting to see many of the firms all come up together. And as we sort of re-rate the sector, it was about 2 weeks ago when Constellation moved from a 16% position to proposing a 38% position for about 5 billion Canadian. That re-rated, and there was my stock traded down for 2 days before that announcement came out because I wasn't on CNBC because there was no rumor. Now, I think what it's sponsored is it would be a pretty terrible job to be the CEO of a beer or spirits company and not have a cannabis strategy. And I say that in that it's a disruptive ingredient that either you're going to harness and succeed with in what I think Constellation has recognized over the last 2 years of working with us, or you're going to have to react quite quickly, which is what's happening now, or you're going to miss it. And so it's going to be quite binary for the players.
Do you think there is room for a lot of cannabis companies, or do you think that this is going to be a situation where 1 or 2 really rise to the top and take control?
Well, I think it's like every sector. When I need to find information, I tend to use Google. When I think about web services, I use Amazon. We're a cloud-first type company. There's going to be a dominant leading company, and we are not that yet. We're very dissatisfied and hard-pressing and trying to make everything better every day. But maybe that mentality's gotten us to a spot where we're getting kind of a little bit ahead of the pack. The Constellation cash coming in is really like rocket fuel because, well, we hear about in the prior episodes of your show or earlier parts NAFTA, and we think quite North American because we're neighbors. Canopy operates in 11 countries, and we operate where it's federally lawful. And regrettably, that's not currently the state yet in the U.S. But I think sometime, maybe soon, state rights will prevail or hemp acts will move in, and then we can step into those opportunities, having spent quite a few years building quite large-scale intellectual property platforms that are materially different than anything you're seeing anywhere else in the world.
Just to back that up, meaning you won't deal with the United States until it's legal in the country as a whole, or until states' rights is made legal? Like, you don't want to get in the mess of individual states allowing it and others not? Yeah,
so where we'll enter is, we have a bunch of check boxes. Do I like being on the New York Stock Exchange? Absolutely. Great governance. In fact, part of the thing that helps us exit prohibition are strong rules, and SEC, FINRA, they do a good job. So what we would enter is if it became, if it was, say, either federally legal, which I think on a national basis is unlikely in the short term, or if it became state by state, decriminalized so that we could enter, or if there were other subordinate groups like CBD from hemp, we would play. But our key thing for us is we have tried to lead the process of exiting prohibition so that we can be very disruptive to pharmaceutical, because there are a lot of ingredients that have not been harnessed under the last 95 years of prohibition, and very disruptive to beverage alcohol, because this is another alternate to mood modification. And so the reason Constellation and us have been working together for 2 years is I think they've been very entrepreneurial and forward-looking. What they wanted to do is lead the segment rather than live in fear. And what we're observing is a lot of the other packaged goods guys, they're reacting pretty aggressively a little late.